Every NBA fan knows that the association has changed a lot through the beginning in 1946 to 2021. But how much has it actually changed? We first start with the earlier years of the NBA, where there was only 8 teams, but as it slowly progressed, we soon found the NBA that it is today. Their rival was the ABA, and actually the ABA created the three-point line and the dunk contest, something that is very popular in 2021. But still, in the 1960s, there were superstars like Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Jerry West. There was no three-point line. Dropping 50 points was normal for Wilt, and nobody was stunned by 25 rebound performance, mainly because at this time no one was good at basketball, so everyone bricked, and because Wilt and Russell were like the strongest and tallest, they were easily able to grab those boards. Russell won 11 rings in 13 years. Wilt destroyed all the records and even changed a bunch of rules, with changing some free throw rules, increasing the lane lines that just were very important to the development of the NBA. Then came Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 70s, alongside Oscar Robertson. But the league was starting to die until Magic Johnson and Larry Bird entered the NBA. These two electrifying talents just made the NBA so fun to watch. Showtime was must-see TV, with Magic Johnson passing amazing passes to stars in Kareem and James Worthy. Then, in the 1984 draft, brought 4 future superstars. Jordan and the Bulls were unbeatable in a 7-game series. Hakeem had a historic run. John Stockton and Karl Malone were one of the greatest teams to never win a championship. And yes, they're really good, but this is one of the greatest teams we're talking about, with the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls, and then just other superstars. Charles Barkley, Tim Hardaway, Scottie Pippen. This was a very stacked league, and definitely one of the peaks of the NBA. Then, in the early 2000s, you had Kobe and Shaq. And this was, at the time, the passing of the torch from MJ to Kobe, which just showed that the NBA was going to change forever. The Kobe and Shaq Lakers, of course, repeated, with the Spurs coming in and the Pistons showing underdogs can fight, beating the Lakers. And then the big 3 in Boston, where there were 3 superstars that none had a winning record in Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. So the Celtics made a splash in trading for KG and Ray Allen, proving just that this team was so stacked on paper. And it might have even been a big 4 if you counted Rajon Rondo at that time. They then won a chip, battling with Kobe and Powell's Lakers. Then 3 years later, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all joined the big 3. And in a span of only 6 years, players in Carmelo Anthony, like I said, LeBron, Wade, Bosh, Dwight Howard, Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Blake Griffin, Steph Curry, and DeMar DeRozan all entered the league. And this would be most of the stars of the 2000s. And then the start of international play in the 2000s decade also was really interesting, because basketball had become globe-wide. You had players like Dirk Nowitzki, Peja Stojakovic, Pau Gasol, Yao Ming, Manu Ginobili, Steve Nash, just to name a few of those international players playing overseas, entering the NBA, and dominating. And currently, there's people like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, and Tingus Pingus in the NBA today. But of course, the biggest difference in the last 5 years has been the evolution of the three-point shot and just the overall space and pace that the NBA is now. Look at this picture on the screen, and I personally think that this is bizarre. The Cleveland Cavaliers currently are last in the NBA with 104.6 points per game, and that would have been number 1 10 years ago. I don't really know if it's worse defense, as some legends say, But I personally think that it's just better offense. If you know the saying, good offense, good defense always loses to greater offense, or something like that. And just with everyone being so unguardable with like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and everyone taking those high volume amount of threes, I don't know if it's possible to just defend these guys because they stretch you out so far. They're very athletic. They can go on the rim. They have shooters all around that you can't sag on those guys to double team. Like for Steph Curry, you literally have Klay Thompson on the perimeter. And if you leave Klay Thompson early, he's going to knock it down like 50% of the time if it's wide open. And that's just making teams so hard to guard. And just the evolution of offense, rather in the 2000s being like defensive first, has really changed in like the last 10 years. And then another thing you have to know is just that there's just so many different things about the NBA. And especially, like I said, in the last 5 years. And a main part of that, or that's an example, is the triple-double. 5 years ago, it was an incredible feat. But it's just, oh, LeBron got a triple-double. Cool. And then our date goes on. Or Luka got a triple-double. Okay, cool. And then we just keep on going. And it's just so crazy how much it has changed. In 2013, there were 46 triple-doubles in the whole league. And the leader was Lance McEndance with 4 triple-doubles. The leader currently in 2019-2020, in the season before, is Luka Doncic with 17 triple-doubles. And while only playing 61 NBA games. If you would include the top 4 players in 2020, that would be more triple-doubles than the whole 2013 league. That's just crazy. And a main reason, or couple reasons, why triple-doubles have been so much common is the increased pace. There are just so many possessions. And with the normal possessions or scoring and possessions per game in 2014 is 93, and now it's 100 in 2020. That's just so crazy because with just being able to, like I said, kick out to people who can shoot, that allows more assists. You also have just having more possessions to score, which was sparked by the Steve Nash 7 seconds and less. And then another reason why is just the more versatile players in the NBA. Young players are taught to basically be able to do everything offensively that just woes all the crowds. And with everyone like Luka, LeBron, even people potentially like Ben Simmons and potentially even Cade Cunningham coming in, basically all of these guys can do everything. Shoot, everything offensively. Shoot, rebound, play make, just everything you need on offense. And just adding some defense is just the cherry on top for just this feat. Now, another reason why is the small ball lineups, which generate more boards to the starred players. Now, there are of course times when people stat pad, like Russell Westbrook, though I would say that Russell Westbrook is the Thunder team was a lot better when Russ was grabbing rebounds and going immediately on the fast break. But just with the small ball, when you're like the Rockets, when your tallest player is 6'7", that provides a lot more rebounds for Russell Westbrook, James Harden, which plays a main factor to the reboundings. And then another overall topic is the player movement in the NBA today. Just 10 years ago, LeBron James made the decision to take his talent to South Beach to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And everyone hated LeBron for, I would say, 5 years until he won a championship with Cleveland. And if you look at like now, like Kawhi Leonard, 2 years ago, no one really hated him for leaving him because he left a championship team. I know it's kind of different. I would say like the Kevin Durant one, it wasn't as bad as the LeBron one, but I mean, everyone was calling him a snake. Everyone hated Kevin Durant at that time. But just the overall player movement, if you look at the 2019 offseason, the top free agents, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler. And those are just a couple of those names. All of those guys left. Kevin Durant to the Nets, Kyrie to the Nets, Kawhi to the Clippers, Jimmy to the Heat. And that's just so crazy how much player movement has been. I know the NBA has tried to make the Supermax, which I think is a failed experiment, mainly because money isn't as crucial to, just like 150 million to 200 million, but that when you get the 150 million, you're in a better position. I personally would rather have that because that's still a vast amount of money. And then just when they do sign it, for example, the Utah Jazz signing Rudy Gobert, they are kind of they're just being shackled to all of this money, which doesn't provide flexibility. So I do think that player movement, it's pretty controversial. Some people like it because they like to see people leave. I guess some people like to see loyalty, which from people like Kobe Bryant and Dirk Nowitzki, but it's kind of tough to say. So overall, the league has changed dramatically. It first started off with a league just adding more teams slowly, starting off with 8 teams. Then the start of popular NBA players with Bird, Magic, Hakeem, Michael Jordan. The 1990s were feisty with, like I said, MJ. In the 2000s, it was a center-dominated league, but then the center slowly died. And then the three-pointers and pace and space, along with spacing analytics, just took over the league with Daryl Morey and the Rockets. So basically, the NBA is not the same. And I expect in 5 more years, it's not going to be the same as it is in 2021. I think there might be even more 3-point shots. There might be like no mid-range jumpers anymore. But I think I just wanted to do this video to just show how much the league has changed. I hope you all enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe, like the videos, comment your thoughts, and I'll see you on next time.